Hello, welcome back. As you just saw then, the guys were taking away all of the rubble. It feels really nice to get a clear, open space again so I can see the house properly. Been staring at that rubble for quite some time. It's still quite messy here. They're going to come back at the weekend and get this hopefully cleaned up a lot better. But now, seeing it like that, it really has made it a lot easier for me to imagine exactly what I want to be doing here. And of course, now that that's all been moved, it means the guys are going to be finishing this week, which is a massive relief. I've been waiting patiently for 3 months. They've stuck to that, which is really good. A little bit over, but we'll forgive them. And I know a number of you have been waiting for this moment. Over to me next week. And I really can't wait for that. Back into my comfort zone. I think I've made it clear how I like to do everything myself. But in this case, I'll be doing this for many more months if I tackled that myself. So although it was a huge expense, it was definitely worth it. And now I can carry on and hopefully be in that house before the end of the year, before the winter comes, and get some comfort. Now I'm going to stay well away from them during the course of this week, let them get on. And as I want to start this house next week, and I did say last week, I want to tick off that little job I was doing down the garden. So I want to crack on with that, get that completely finished. And then we can tick that off, as well as the guys' part in this renovation. And then all over to me. It's going to be a good week, and I'm really looking forward to shaking his hand, Jean, and saying goodbye in a nice way. You're comfy down there, boys. That was my one good remaining pile of sand that you've just spread out there. As long as you're keeping cool. It's warm today. beautifully warm today. Slows you down a little bit, I guess, but it is still really nice. I'm sweating like crazy. So some of you may have noticed I've changed the layout of this a tiny bit with those rocks. 3 stages to go in order for me to finish this week. And I've got the rocks now as I like them, curving around, banking up to the top of the well. It just follows on nicely down there and sort of mirrors itself. And I think that works quite well. The next stage is to get a sheet down on here. And you saw I was just padding out that area there, try and flatten it a little bit. But in this section here, I'm thinking I'll probably just in that section use these flat rocks from the hills and see if I can get that to look good. And then the remainder of it, I'm going to use the gravel. If I was to do the whole area here, it would just take too long. And I think the gravel will work really well. Here's my entrance point from coming down from the house. And then I think around there, I'll put some flat stones. Yeah. Stage 1 done. Time for stage 2. Okay, this is going to be interesting. Last few heavy rocks to go in place and it should be plain sailing. I've been so careful this last couple of weeks and feeling so much better. I've got the brace on, that really helps. I'm slowing my movements down and trying not to turn too much, and I'm probably looking very wooden and it shows in the video, but I've done a pretty good job so far of just taking the pressure off my back. Until yesterday, of course. I go to the shop to get an extra bit of ground sheet, brand new roll, hidden behind a box. The lady who works in the shop couldn't lift it, so I thought I'll give her a hand. As soon as I bent down to lift it, sharp pain up my back. I can't believe it. Really annoyed with myself. So it won't stop us from doing this, but I've got to be really careful. I'm only pointing this out because I have to move some of those rocks over here, and I'm going to look really uncomfortable or awkward. I'm just trying to protect my back. At the end of the day, I guess, well, your body looks after you. You got to look after your body. Got to remember that. And after this is done, I can't think of anything heavy that I'm going to be lifting in the next couple of weeks. So I'll use that time just to calm that pressure down, and hopefully by the time we really get going, I'll be good and ready. I just can't believe that I did that. The really nice thing about doing this, apart from, I have to say, I'm really enjoying it, is taking the stones from down here and putting them over there, killing two birds with one stone, clearing this area and making this area look nicer. I'm also reusing all of the smaller stones from the back of the house where the bus was. They were always intended to be reused. So it's very satisfying knowing that I'm not really spending anything in doing this. Tomorrow I've got to work out how I'm going to end that and then continue with the gravel. And I wasn't sure how that was going to look with the gravel between the stones, but I guess as I'm going to be continuing the rest of the area using that it does actually work quite well. It's just working out what sort of shape I want around there. I'm quite liking it round, so maybe I just need to go a little bit more and keep that shape. We'll see. Tomorrow's another day. Shall we go? Should we get your din-dins? Hello, water boys. Hello, my beauties. Hello, my beauties. Hello, my beauties. Thursday, we've got some rain coming. Got quite a lot of stones left over, and I want to see if I can get this laid out before it does rain. And hopefully, boys will give me a little bit of a help, won't you? Eh? Give me a boost, inspiration. Oh. Okay, beaten by the rain. We'll come back. Okay, so I continued for a little bit while it was raining. I wanted to get that line, and now I'm looking at it again. I'm not so sure. First impression was to give it a nice curve following the shape of the well, but I can already see it needs to come in more to there, and probably the same on the other side. Nice enough distance from the well. I think my only option really is to take the drone up, although I'm never going to see it from above. It'll give me a good indication of what that looks like, and it's bound to look awful. So at least if we do stick with a curve, the drone's going to be good for that. And also, I guess if I'm going to square it off, I can make sure I get a good angle. Okay, that definitely feels better, and I like it curved. I think the straight line across would have worked quite well, but I think in keeping with the well, that works out good. So now, next step, sheet down on there, get some of the stones down in the gaps, fill those in, and then all the way across. Last thing, step. do you reckon, Chris? What do you reckon, Will? Do you like it? Whoa! Relax. Weird feeling. It's very calm. Started off really windy this morning. It's been overcast all day. It's about 25 degrees centigrade, very close, and now it's gone really quiet. The guys finished yesterday. They came back this morning and just took the last of their stuff away, their tools and so on. They're coming back tomorrow to just sort out the very last thing at the front of the house to tidy it up, and it just feels really weird. Being able to tick this off is such a good feeling. The well is one of the first jobs that I started here after I set myself up with the bus and the area around the back of the house. And I've had to keep coming backwards and forwards to this. And I wasn't sure while I was doing that what I was going to do in this area. And obviously having the village house take over, take the priority. To be able to tick this off is such a lovely feeling. And with this here, I figured, well, it came from the well. It's the smaller of the two. The other one I'll use for something else, but it just seems to work perfectly there. Some pot plants, table and chairs. What a lovely little spot. We're about 150 meters from the back of the house, and the reason that I went out of my way to make this look the way I have is because this whole area here is possibly going to be where I'm going to be growing my own food, my vegetables. And so to be able to come up here and chill out, good spot. That's just reminded me of something that I'm going to have to do tonight before that rain comes. So I'll get on with that in a minute. Yeah, it got me thinking, you know, while I was putting the last stone in there, since I've been out here, the things I've done. Now, obviously, I started my YouTube channel 2.5 years ago. It must be something like a bit more than that. And you've seen quite a lot of what I've been doing. But there's also a hell of a lot I've done that I haven't shown. And looking back to the 4 houses now that I've renovated, the last one of course in the village, which you've seen with my brother James. I was so fortunate to be able to do that with him. It wasn't easy, but it was a great experience. And the first 3 of course had to learn from scratch on day one and just go with it. I haven't had too many days off since then, and I've just thoroughly enjoyed it. And looking at this, it's a sort of humbling feeling, I guess, is the achievement and how that feels. And I'm very proud of everything that I've done out here, and it feels so good to be able to say that. I've definitely achieved more in the time I've been out here than the 45 years, which is when I moved out here at 45 years old, all combined. I've had, you know, an interesting life to some degree, I guess, but this has been a roller coaster and I've really enjoyed it. But this is my house, my home, my land, and that was a joy to do. And there's going to be so many more things I'm going to be doing. And of course, starting next week, that I think is why I'm feeling the way I am. I know that in the not too distant future, I'm going to have somewhere to chill out, relax and get the comfort. And I'll be looking back at all the time that I've been living in the bus, moving it around and so on. And I'll be looking at that with fond memories. But do you know what? The reality of it is I can't wait to get on a nice sofa in a nice clean space, have a shower inside. I'm still going to keep a shower outside, but just to get that comfort and cook some food. Yeah, there's a lot that needs to be done this year, but we'll get to it. Right, I'm going to get on with that, I think, after I've walked the dogs. A fun couple of hours. I think that's all of it. Last year I cut down a load of branches down by the right hand side of the well. Got those all on there. It's dying down now. Oh, it's nice. Warm evening. Perfect way to end the week. Chris is in the bus. world with me here. So until next week, thanks for watching. Look after yourselves and stay positive.